What's up, everybody? Jason Cole here with RCGroups.com, and we've got another review for you. This one is the flite Mini Convergence. Now, this is the bind and fly version, which sells for $199.99 on HorizonHobby.com, and they also have a P&P version, which sells for $179.99. So, this is a slimmed down mini version of the original Convergence. It's pretty much the same airplane, just a whole lot smaller. It's got like a little bit over 16-inch wingspan. It'll fit in the front seat of your car. I've flown the original Convergence, and I was curious if this one would fly just as stable and smooth and fun and do all the same kind of things, and that made that one so popular. So, we put this together, took it to the field, and had a blast with it, I gotta tell you. But getting it out of the box, that's one of the great joys about the mini version of this, is it'll go back into the box with no hassle, no taking the props off. There's just one piece of foam that kind of goes in and locks it down. So it's really nice and convenient to carry with you and not worry about it getting damaged on the way to the field. It is all white when you get it, and there's 3 different decal sets, so you can kind of choose which scheme you want or mix and match and make it look like you want it to look. You can customize it to your preference, which is really neat. So this has 3 motors. The 2 front ones will be able to pivot forward and upwards. Then we have a motor in the rear that helps with thrust for multi-rotor mode. We've got a nice magnetic canopy hatch that has our 3S 800 mAh battery inside, and it's plenty of space in there, and the canopy is real easy to take off and put back on. On the bottom, we've got 2 servos that control our elevons. All of the speed controllers are right there, and then the cells. And that's pretty much it. There is some stiffening on the wingtips, which is nice to see, so it'll help those be more durable through your landings. So, pretty cool. Now let's talk about how setting this thing up works. So I'm a big proponent of reading the manual in anything that you get, pretty much. And Horizon always does a great job of providing good manuals with all the information you need. And what's really nice about the Mini Convergence here is if you're new to VTOLs or multirotors, they give you a transmitter setup quick start guide. It's a separate sheet, and it's going to have a simplified setup for your radio. And essentially, you have kind of 4 different conditions of this airplane that you can control. You've got hover mode and airplane mode, and then you've got stability mode and acro mode. So hover mode is obviously going to be vertical like a multi-rotor. It's going to hover in place. You're going to be able to fly it around like a helicopter. Airplane mode is going to be flying forward much faster, just like an airplane. And then stability mode is going to limit your bank angles and self-level. So if you let off the sticks, it's going to self-right itself and be nice and stable and easy to fly for you. Then acro mode, there's no limitations. You can do rolls, loops, inverted flight, flips, all those kinds of things. So the transmitter setup quick start guide for newer pilots simplifies those things, basically puts everything on one switch. So what you're going to have is hover mode with stability on, airplane mode with stability on, and airplane mode with acro. So it's a real simple version of that. If you go to the full manual that's included, you can put those options on 2 switches. So now you can have hover mode and airplane mode on one switch and stability mode and acro mode on another switch. So you can do acro mode for both multi-rotor, hover mode, and airplane mode. So you get more options that way. It's just down to your experience level and what you're comfortable with doing. But it's nice that they included both those in the manual. Alright guys, so you've got your radio set up. I've just got one more tip before you go fly it. Don't eat your airplanes. They don't taste that good. Just don't do it. So once you've decided not to eat your airplane, you can go to the field and get ready to fly. And that's where the real fun starts. So you can set it out on the runway. You're going to be in multi-rotor mode and give it some throttle. It's going to take off vertically, and it's going to be nice, smooth, stable. It's going to be real easy to fly with stability mode on. You can basically not touch anything. It's going to drift with the wind a little bit here and there, but it's going to remain level. It's going to remain stable, easy to fly. So that's good. You can drive it around. You can go forward, backwards. It tilts the front motors to go forwards and backwards. You can spin left and right in place. You can roll it, kind of roll it, like bank it left and right, just kind of like you would with a multi-rotor. Now, if you take it out of stability mode and go to acro mode, you're going to be able to do some flips and loops and a little bit more aerobatics with it. It's a little bit harder to fly. It's not going to self-level for you, so you can play with that if you're new and instantly switch back into stability mode if you need that helping hand. It's really great for that. Now, when you're ready to fly it like an airplane, you're just going to flip the switch, and it's going to do a nice automated transition to airplane mode. You don't have to really do anything else other than hit that switch. Make sure you have some throttle on. And what's really nice is on the original Convergence, at the end of the transition from multi-rotor mode to airplane mode, it would have this oscillation, this little wobble on the pitch axis. And people were asking me, does this one do that? And I said, well, let's find out. So we hit the switch, and it does a process where it tilts the forward motors to a certain angle, kind of transitions flying forward a little bit, picking up some speed, and then it'll flatten the motors out all the way, shut off the rear motor. Now you're flying on the wing, and I'm happy to report that it doesn't exhibit that same oscillation that the original Convergence did. So it was a much smoother transition, which is really nice. And then same thing coming back out of airplane mode. You flip the switch, it's going to just do an automated process to get right back into multi-rotor mode and allow you to fly it that way. So it's really fun that you have options. You can fly it around like an airplane, do your loops and rolls, aerobatics if you want. If you're a newer pilot, you can put it in stability mode and still be able to fly around like an airplane, but just have it be toned down and easy to fly, and you know, not bank over so hard, and be self-leveling when you let off the sticks. And then when you're ready to come back in and land, put it back to multi-rotor mode, let it automatically transition, and you can just drive it right on back to your landing spot and set it down and kill the motors. And flight time, you're getting about 5 minutes. It's exactly what they said to set it to in the manual, and I flew for 5 minutes, landed, and I had maybe 23% left in my battery on the 3S800. One thing to keep in mind with battery life is it's going to require more power to fly in multi-rotor mode. It takes more energy. You've got all three motors working together, and it takes less power to fly in airplane mode with only two of the motors and requiring less throttle to keep it in the air. So you can extend your flight time out in airplane mode, and it's going to be a little bit shorter if you stay in multi-rotor mode for long periods of time. So that's the Mini Convergence. It's cute, it's light, it's portable, it is every bit as good as the original Convergence, and it fits back in the box. You can take it with you, you can fly it indoors. The battery packs are really inexpensive and affordable. It's a lot of fun to fly. I definitely had a blast with it playing for this review. So if you guys want to see more, we have the full review online at RCGroups.com. I'll have that link in the description. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, share it with your friends. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next video.